ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate, who came to establish universal religion. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Today's topic I am speaking on Sri SaradaDevi, the Sublime Mother. Sri Ramakrishna has come to show us the way of spiritual life and how to concentrate upon the practice rather than wasting time in futile debates. He wanted that one has to be sincere in the spiritual pursuit. Sri Ramakrishna in this incarnation has his own special team to work his mission. And Sri SaradaDevi is his own power, as Sri Ramakrishna himself has said. He wanted to show to the universe through Holy Mother the great ideal for the women. Sri Ramakrishna is a master of renunciation, love and compassion. In equal measure, Sri Mata SaradaDevi also is supremely great, very compassionate and loving towards all the creatures of the universe. Holy Mother is infinite. She is deeper than the ocean. Swami Vivekananda said, "You have not understood Sri SaradaDevi. She is the Holy Mother. The life and message of her is that Sri Ramakrishna and SaradaDevi are one and the same." It is said, Ramakrishna Gata Pranam Tannam Shravana Priyam Tadbhava Ranjita Akaram Pranamami Muhurmuhu. I bow again and again to her, whose soul is dedicated to Sri Ramakrishna, who is fond of hearing his name, the embodiment, as it were, of his thoughts. Once at Dakshineshwar, Sri Mata was sweeping the master's room, and Sri Ramakrishna was seated on a small bench. All on a sudden, Sri SaradaDevi asked Sri Ramakrishna, Master, who am I to you? Sri Ramakrishna, without waiting to think, at once said, You are my mother Anandamayi. Just as Holy Mother was Jagadamba, Divine Mother to Lord Ramakrishna. Similarly, Sri Ramakrishna was the embodiment of all gods and goddesses to the Mother. Sometime Holy Mother told a devotee, once I felt when offering food to Sri Ramakrishna that I could not even throw out the ants because I perceived that Sri Ramakrishna was eating the offerings. When Sri SaradaDevi offered praise to Sri Ramakrishna, her whole heart was with him. Whenever the divine descends on earth as an incarnation, the primeval Shakti also descends with him in a female form. That's how Sri Ramakrishna and Sri SaradaDevi descended upon this earth. So did Sri Krishna and Radhika, Sri Ramchandra and Sita, Buddha and Yashodhara, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Vishnu Priya. The oneness of Sri Ramakrishna and Sri SaradaDevi can be comprehended from some instances. Before Sri Ramakrishna came here, his father had a vision of Vishnu at Gaya. Lord Vishnu told Sri Ramakrishna's father that he was coming to him in the form of a son. Before our Holy Mother came to this world, her mother, going across the field, felt a near faint and sat at the foot of a bilva tree. All on a sudden, there was a noise. A little girl came down from the branches of the tree. She put her hands around the neck of Holy Mother's mother. The little girl said, Now I have come to you. Holy Mother's father once had a dream that a little girl put her hands around his neck. The girl was a paragon of beauty and had precious jewels on her body. Holy Mother's father asked the little girl who she was. She said, I have come to you. These instances show how Sri Ramakrishna and Yogendra Pujyam, Yugadharma Patrim, one who is worthy of being worshipped by the great yogis and the savior of religion in every age. Sri Mata came to this mortal earth in human body. When Sri Ramakrishna was engaged in great sadhana, Bhairavi Brahmani came to Dakshineshwar and said, He who has renunciation, detachment, discernment, knowledge unbroken at all times, in spite of the wife being near him, is established really in Brahman. All of us know how Holy Mother pointed out Sri Ramakrishna as her husband when she was a girl of 5 or 6. To understand this, we should hear that what Sri Ramakrishna said when Sri Ma asked him once while she was massaging his feet. Who do you think I am? When this question was asked, Sri Ramakrishna said, the mother who is in the temple is now in this body and is living in the Nahabat, the concert room, and is now massaging my feet. I always see you as Anandamayi. We understand the life and message of Sri Mata when we find that Sri Ramakrishna worshipped her as a Shodashi. Shodashi is Goddess Tripura Sundari, Parvati, the consort of Lord Shiva. Once she revealed herself as Tripura Sundari to Lord Shiva. When Sri Ramakrishna worshipped the Holy Mother as the embodiment of all Shakti and invoked Mother Tripura Sundari to open all the doors of perception, meditation, emancipation and purity of mind, Sri SaradaDevi lost her external consciousness and became Samadhistha, established in Samadhi. It is difficult to explain the word Samadhistha in the case of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swami Vivekananda. If one could see God physically, it was when Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swamiji were in that ecstatic state. We see our Holy Mother as a mother, as a guru, as a goddess. The love and affection of Mother knew and knows no bounds. Sri Mata is supreme in her maternal love and affection. When she was at Dakshineshwar, many women came to see her. Once Sri Ramakrishna told her in a note of warning about a woman who came to see Holy Mother that the woman was not a good woman. Holy Mother realized the significance, but felt that those who came to take refuge at her feet should not be given up just because something had happened in the past. Holy Mother would be a mother to all, irrespective of caste, calling or community. A dacoit by name Amjad was as much a son to her as Sharat Chandra Maharaj. Could there be a greater manifestation of love than this? Girish Chandra Ghosh, the great dramatist, once said that Durga Puja at his house would not be performed if Holy Mother would not come there. Holy Mother was then unwell, but she went to Girish Chandra Ghosh's home because Girish wanted her at the time of worship of Mother Durga. When Holy Mother arrived at Girish Chandra Ghosh's home, Girish said that Mother Jagadamba arrived in spite of physical suffering. Girish, in full-throated voice, spoke while panting for breath. I thought there would be no puja. Then the mother arrived. All the time, Holy Mother was there. The devotees offered flowers at the lotus feet of Sri Mata. Holy Mother's love for the devotees was so deep that when devotees would bring sweets, Holy Mother would keep just a little from the front part of the plate for Sri Ramakrishna and distribute the rest to all the devotees. Once Gopala's mother said to Holy Mother, you are giving away everything. You should keep something for my Gopal, meaning thereby Sri Ramakrishna. Holy Mother became a little embarrassed. No sooner had she expressed a little uneasiness than someone turned up with a basket full of sweets. Holy Mother's hands were always bounteous for the devotees. Instances are innumerable to show selflessness on the one hand and the abiding affection on the other. Holy Mother was with all her heart for Sri Ramakrishna. Nothing would please her more than hearing the name of Sri Ramakrishna. She was wholly wrapped up in the thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna. She would look after the food of Sri Ramakrishna. Sometimes when Sri Ramakrishna would be in Samadhi, Holy Mother would gradually bring Sri Ramakrishna back to normal consciousness. When Sri Ramakrishna would sing and dance in a state of divine ecstasy in his room, crowded with devotees, Mother would listen from behind the curtains. Sometimes she would address herself with these words, "Mind, have you come with such fortune that you will get his darshan every day?" Sri Ramakrishna showed great awareness and alertness about Holy Mother. She was then living at Nahabat, which was a very small room. Sri Ramakrishna therefore advised her to go out in the afternoon with the devotees to see the housewives in the village of Dakshineshwar. This would take Sri Ma out of the room and also give her companions. As long as Sri Ramakrishna's mother was at Dakshineshwar, he would go to the Nahabat and eat his midday meal there. When Sri Ramakrishna's mother left this mortal world, Sri SaradaDevi would go to Sri Ramakrishna's room and would feed him in there. Sometimes Sri Ramakrishna had to be brought back from the lofty heights to the mundane world at the time of taking food. When Sri Ramakrishna was at Kasipur, Sri SaradaDevi used to cook for Sri Ramakrishna a food which was a sort of boiled food in the form of pish pash. One morning at Kasipur, while going up the wooden staircase with a large quantity of milk in a cup in her hand, she slipped and fell. Thereafter, a few days, she could neither cook nor bring the food for Sri Ramakrishna. Babu Ram, a disciple of the Master, was told by him to bring Holy Mother seated in a basket on his head. These little acts of humor also show the complete unity of Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Mata. One day, when Holy Mother was in meditation during her stay at Nahabat, Sri Ramakrishna was returning from the Kali temple. Hardly could he keep steps when he saw the Holy Mother and said, "Am I drunk? Why am I shaking? Why can I not fix? Why cannot sit?" Holy Mother said, "You have attained the consciousness of Mother Kali." The Master used to narrate the divine acts of Sri Krishna to Sri Mata and Lakshmi Didi. One evening, Holy Mother prepared a 7-stringed garland of jasmine and rangan flowers and dipped it in water to keep it wet. Later, when the garland was put on the neck of Mother Kali, Sri Ramakrishna remarked, "How beautiful the garland looks on the black body of Mother Kali." When Sri Ramakrishna learned that Sri Ma had made the garland, he asked the devotees to request her to come and have a look at Mother Kali. Holy Mother's heart became filled with beatific vision of Mother Kali when she had a look at her image. It is said that when Holy Mother was at Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna one day wrote something on Holy Mother's tongue. The next day, Mother asked Lakshmi Didi to go to Sri Ramakrishna and have the same written on her tongue. The Master also wrote the root mantra of Radha Krishna on Lakshmi Didi's tongue. In those days, Holy Mother would look at the moon and say, "Let my heart be clean like the moonlight." And so was her life. Well has it been said about her, Pavitram charitam yasyaha, pavitram jivanam tatha, pavitrata surupinyai, tasyai kurmo namo namaha. To her whose life story is sanctifying, whose life breathes sanctity, who is verily sanctity embodied, to her we offer our repeated salutations. Sri Ramakrishna once told Golapma about Holy Mother. Who is Sharada? She is Saraswati. She has come to impart knowledge. She has hidden her beauty. Sometimes, if mother would become a little sleepy while listening to Sri Ramakrishna's words of wisdom, as she was then a girl of 14, mother's friends would like to wake her up. The master would say, no, no, don't wake her up. Is she sleeping on her own will? If she hears these things, she will not stay here. She will just run away. This is the goddess that Sri Ramakrishna saw in her. Again he said, she is the giver of knowledge. She is the personification of intelligence. She is my Shakti. Once Swami Vivekananda wrote to his brother monk, you have not yet understood the wonderful significance of mother's life, none of you. But gradually you will know. Without Shakti, there is no regeneration for the world. Mother has been born to revive that wonderful Shakti in India, and making her the nucleus, once more will Gargis and Maitreyis be born into the world. We see two features in Holy Mother. One is the Master's desire to train up the Holy Mother for propagation of religion, and the other is the affection of Sri Ma for her spiritual sons, the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Once when the Master went from Dakshineshwar to Shamprakor, Sri Ma felt worried about him because he was ill. One day, Golapma told Jogin Ma, look Jogin, I think the Master has gone to Calcutta being angry with Sri Ma. No sooner had Sri Ma heard this from Jogin Ma than she went to Sri Ramakrishna at Shampakur and asked, have you come here being angry with me? The Master said, no, no. Who told you so? Mother said, Golapma told me. The Master said in a rebuking tone, why did she say this and make you cry? Does she not know who you are? Where is Golap? Then Sri Ma returned to Dakshineshwar. Later Golapma was rebuked by the Master with these words. With what words have you made her cry? Do you not know who she is? Go at once and ask her forgiveness. Golapma walked on foot to Dakshineshwar and asked her, crying, Mother, are you angry with me? Without realizing the implications, I said these words. Mother did not say anything, but smiled and then patted Golapma on the back, and her sorrow melted in the affection of Holy Mother. After the passing away of the Master, Sri Mata went to Vrindavan. There she had a vision of Sri Ramakrishna. It was the end of the monsoon season. The trees and flowers at Vrindavan were in unparalleled beauty. The area was so full of the fragrance of flowers that one could see the peacocks dancing, the cattle grazing the field, and the deer dancing in joy. Amidst the beauty, Sri Ma was comprehending in her mind the tears of Radhika and the long lingering look of the Vraj Gopikas. But there was no Krishna. Mother's mind was full of sadness on that account. Once a great event happened in Vrindavan. The Master revealed himself to the mother and said, give this mantra to Jogin, Swami Yogananda. At first the Holy Mother sat in silence. She thought with a little shyness that people would say that she had started making disciples no sooner the Master left his mortal body. But the Master appeared before her again on the second and the third day. Holy Mother then spoke to Sri Ramakrishna. I do not even speak with Jogin. How can I give him a mantra? The Master then said, you ask Dr. Jogin Ma, you ask her about it. He told the mother what mantra should be given to Jogin. Then Shima sent for Jogin Maharaj and asked him whether he had been initiated. Jogin Maharaj said, no. Master did not give me any particular Ishta mantra. I however do japa according to my taste. Jogin Maharaj also told mother that he had got a mandate from the Master for receiving the mantra from her. But out of shyness he could not speak to her. Then Sri Mata gave initiation to him. When Holy Mother went to Prayag for the immersion of the Master's hair, all on a sudden a wave came and took away from her hand the box containing the hair. She said that Prayag, meaning the presiding deity of the place, wanted to be purified, and that's why the box was taken away from her hands. When Swami Vivekananda decided to go on a long pilgrimage in July 1890, he went to Holy Mother and asked her blessings. He said to her, I shall come back if I can return as a man. Otherwise, take this to be my last visit. Holy Mother startled at this remark and said, what are you saying? Then Swamiji said, no, I shall return by your blessings. Holy Mother realized the greatness of Swamiji and saw with her divine eyes his bright future. Swami Vivekananda would fall prostrate at the lotus feet of Holy Mother while offering salutations to her. Once he asked Hari Prasanna to make pranams to Holy Mother. Hari Prasanna later became Vijnananandaji. Hari Prasanna did it by touching her feet. Behind him was standing Swami Vivekananda, who said, is that the way of offering pranams to Mother? Lie prostrate before her and receive her blessings. Of the innumerable devotees who used to come to Holy Mother, the best illustration is of Nag Mahashaya. He considered Holy Mother to be the embodiment of a goddess. Once he came on Ekadashi day, Sri Mata had then sat down for her meal. Till then no male devotees could get her darshan. They would touch their head on the steps of the house and offer their pranams. A maid servant would tell about them to the mother and convey her blessings to the devotees. On this particular day, when Nag Mahashaya came to offer his pranams to Holy Mother, the maid servant rushed to her and said, here is Nag Mahashaya offering pranams to you. He is hitting his head on the steps with such a force that his forehead would soon start bleeding. Swami Yogananda is asking him to desist from doing so, but he is paying no heed. Mother then asked the maid servant to tell Swami Yogananda to send Nag Mahashaya. Accordingly, Yoganandaji brought Nag Mahashaya. Mother saw that Nag Mahashaya's forehead was swollen and tears were rolling down his eyes. His legs were trembling. He could not even see Holy Mother because of his tears. Holy Mother, out of affection forgetting all her accustomed shyness, got hold of Nagmashe and asked him to take his seat. The only word which Nagmashe could utter then was, "Mother, mother." He appeared to be in a state of madness, but yet he was standing still. Holy Mother wiped his tears, and with her own hand made him eat the food which Holy Mother was to take on the Ekadashi day. Nagmashe's mind could not be directed towards the food. He could not eat what Mother was giving him. All the time he was uttering, "Mother, mother, mother." And his hands were touching her feet. The women devotees who were there told Holy Mother that he can't eat and therefore he should be asked to leave the place. Holy Mother said, "No, let him be a little steady." She then put her hand on Nagmashe's head and body and uttered the name of Sri Ramakrishna. Then Nagmashe came back to normal consciousness. Then Mother gave him food with her own hands. When he was thus fed by Mother and when he was going down, he was all the time uttering, "Naham, Naham, Tuhu, Tuhu." Not I, but thou, thou. On another occasion, Nagmashe came to Holy Mother with a basket full of mangoes on his head. The mangoes were of good quality. When he arrived at Mother's house, he would not put down the basket from his head. His intention was he would make Mother eat the mangoes with his own hands. But he did not speak about it to anyone. Swami Yogananda sent news to Mother that Nagmashe had brought mangoes, but he would not give them to anyone. Mother asked the messenger to send Nagmashe in. He came with the basket on his head and kept it down on the floor. He started worshipping her lotus feet. Mother saw that Nagmashe had again become completely oblivious of the external surroundings as before. Mother often used to say, "It is difficult to find a devotee like Nagmashe." The way Holy Mother gave love and affection to all is unparalleled. The books on Mother's life are full of incidents depicting her unbounded love for the devotees. A disciple of Holy Mother named Swami Parameshwarananda lives at Jairambati. He is an octogenarian. He came as a young boy to Jairambati and has lived all his life there. The reason is he always wanted to be and still wants to be near Mother. On the very first day he came to her, Mother said to him, "You are my son and I am your mother." This cord of love binds him with Mother, as thousands and thousands of men and women devotees have been, are and will be bound to her by the tie of her affection. Mother is described as Bhakta Janani, the mother of the devotees. Once Swami Vishveshwarananda asked Mother, "How do you look upon us?" Mother said, "I look upon you all as Narayan." He again asked her, "We are your children. If you look upon us as Narayan, that is not looking upon as children." Mother said, "I look upon you as Narayana and also as my children." Many Swamis belonging to the Ramakrishna order and the lay devotees who came in touch with Mother said, when they saw Mother for the first time, they felt that they were with their own Mother. When Mother was at Jairambati, there was an old sadhu named Haridas. He would sing Harinam on his musical instrument. One morning he came as usual to Mother for some prasad. Mother asked him to take his bath. Afterwards she gave him with affection some puffed rice. Old Haridas was eating the mother was talking to him and preparing some pans. Haridas was eating and mother was talking to him and preparing some pans. This was the time of the First World War. There was great scarcity of clothes. Haridas said that he had no clothes to wear. After her bath, mother had spread her clothes in the sun for drying. It was a new piece of cloth. Mother had used it only for 2 days. No sooner had mother heard of the want of cloth from Haridas than she gave that cloth to him. Haridas became overwhelmed with mother's kindness and touched the piece of cloth on his head and went back with tears rolling down his cheeks. One afternoon a devotee came and asked for some prasad from the mother. The devotees wanted to dry the prasad in the sun so that he could take it home. He put it on a plate out in the sun. Mother warned him saying, "See that crows do not come and touch it." Later on the devotees went downstairs and fell asleep. When he woke up, he saw that mother was keeping a watch on that plate. Then he said with little shyness, "Mother, you have not taken any rest today." Mother said, "No, lest the crows would come and touch that prasad which I gave to you. I have been waiting here." Mother used to keep the hair of Sri Ramakrishna in a German silver box. Whenever she looked at that box, she would think of Nivedita, because Sister Nivedita had given that box to her. Mother would say, "Things which my children have given with affection are preserved by me. The price of remembrance is invaluable." Sister Nivedita had also given a piece of silk shawl to mother. Years after, the shawl became tattered, but mother would still preserve it because Sister Nivedita had given it to her. Ramakrishna Mission is a handiwork of mother's bounty and blessings. On the one hand, and prayer and entreaty to Sri Ramakrishna on the other. Once when mother was at Bodh Gaya, she prayed to Sri Ramakrishna, "You came, you have done divine miracles, and you have gone away happily. Has everything ended thereby? Then why did you labor and suffer so much? I have seen many monks at Kashi and Vrindavan. They beg to eat and roam about under the shades of trees. I pray that those who will take your name shall have nothing to worry about their bread and raiment." This is how, out of mother's love, the Ramakrishna Math has grown up. An illusion of mother's love should not be considered as an illusion. An illustration of mother's love for the novices joining the Ramakrishna order was remarkable. When a monk at the Koalpara ashrama was very strict and rigorous on the residents of the ashram, the members of the ashram naturally would not like to stay there. Observing their tendency, the secretary of the Ramakrishna ashram, Koalpara, came to the mother and said, "Mother, formerly the novices were obedient, but now they do not listen to me. When they go to you or to Sharat Maharaj, you show your affection. They also get good food and shelter from you. If you do not give them any room and send them to me, they will be obedient." Holy Mother was astounded to hear this and said, "What are you saying? Love is our everything. It is because of love that the universe of the Lord has grown up. How could you come and tell me by way of complaint against my boys? Just as Holy Mother gave affection, she would equally give the novices advice in the words of Sri Ramakrishna. The advice was, you have to adjust yourself and mold yourself with the surroundings. He who endures will find that the Lord is within him. Mother had firm belief that Sri Ramakrishna would himself preach his ideas through the mission. Holy Mother would repeat the words of Sri Ramakrishna, saying, when the southern breeze blows, trees which have substance will become sandal trees. All will become sandal excepting bamboo groves and banana clusters. Once on the occasion of Sri Durga Puja at Jairambati, many devotees had come and offered flowers at the feet of Holy Mother. When they all went, Mother called the brahmacharis and said, bring more flowers. Give flowers in the names of Rakal, Tarak, Sharat, Koka, Jogin, Gopal. Give flowers in the names of all my sons who are known and who are not unknown. After receiving the flowers with folded hands, Holy Mother looked at the picture of Sri Ramakrishna for a long time and said, let there be good to all in this life and beyond. Brahmachari Rashbihari was engaged in the construction of a new house at Jairambati. One day, he went out to a neighboring village and could not return for his midday meal. It was a winter afternoon. The days were short. He returned a little before sunset. He heard that Mother had not yet taken her food and was waiting for him. In astonishment, he said to her, Mother, your health is not good and you have been on fast till this evening. Mother said, my son, you have not eaten anything. How could I eat? Could there be greater love than this? A boy named Rammai, who later on became Swami Gaurishwarananda, he was then preparing for his BA degree exam. He used to come to Mother at Jairambati regularly. One afternoon, Mother was brushing her teeth and Rammai was standing beside her. Nalini Didi, Mother's niece, all on a sudden said, Aunt, what a nice boy is he. He has matriculation and intermediate and is now reading for graduation. His parents trying to make a man of him by educating him. The boy wants to be a monk. The boy should be thinking of earning to feed his parents. Mother said, what do you understand? They are not crows, cuckoos. When they grow up, they know their real mother. They forsake the mother who was fostering them and fly to the real mother. This is the foundation of motherly love on which the mission has been based, and on which the mission exists for all devotees who have come and who will come in future. Mother's love and affection flowed and always flows like the ever-flowing Ganga. Sri Ramakrishna had told Sri Ma that a little girl would come and keep her occupied. The little girl who came as Radhu, a niece of Sri Ma, was Yogamaya herself. After Sri Ma left her mortal coil, a disciple of Sri Ma saw a little girl wearing a red brocade saris in a dream. She told the devotee that she was Radhu. The devotees asked her in dream, are you Radhu? This little girl replied, I am Yogamaya. Radhu was then ill, and a few days thereafter she breathed her last. Mother's daily life, on the one hand, was centered around her relations, devotees and disciples, who were all her children. And on the other, the mother's whole being was with Sri Ramakrishna. The message that gave to all was fearlessness in the words of the Upanishads. Mother would say, "What's the fear, son? Always know that the master is behind you. I am also there. What fear can there be? I am your mother." This message was given practical shape by mother. "You have come to mother." She would say, "What's the necessity of meditation now? I am doing everything for you all. Now have something to eat and be happy without any worry." Mother would impress the necessity of taking the Ishta mantra in these words. Look at that banyan tree. The seed of the banyan tree is smaller than the seed of red leafy vegetable. Out of that little seed, a great banyan tree grows. The name of the Lord is like a small seed. If you have that seed of the Lord's name, gradually you will have devotion, love, emotion and perception out of that. Mother would say, mantra and meditation is not all. Devotion is everything. Master is all. He is the Guru. He is the Ishta. The Lord cannot be had without love and devotion. Once mother's nephew Shibu asked her, "Will you tell me who you are?" Mother said, "I am your aunt, Kali. Is that right?" The mother replied, "Yes." Again when people would say, "You are Mother Jagadamba," she would say, "Go away. It's only because the Master out of kindness gave shelter to me that I have survived." This attitude of self-surrender of Sri Mata shows her complete communion with Sri Ramakrishna. Once a Swami by name Tanmayananda asked Mother, "If the Master is God, who are you?" Without waiting for a second, Mother replied, "Who am I? I am also Bhagavati." Swami Premananda said, "Who can really understand the greatness of Holy Mother? We have seen Sri Ramakrishna always God intoxicated. Mother holds these powers suppressed within herself. Hail Mother, Hail Mother, the embodiment of Shakti, the Divine Mother. Look at her life. Try to understand her. You are all children of the Holy Mother. Try to be worthy of being her children. Then you will find fulfillment. You are Mother's children. Watch and learn. Know that worldly pleasures end in ashes. What great responsibilities you have. Learn to turn your mind towards God and become united with Him. Mother has shown you the path. She is the example before your eyes. Know that you have touched the philosopher's stone and have turned into gold. Now it is your duty to turn others into gold. Try to attain that power of spirituality. Be the worthy children of Mother, always and forever. Remember that unbounded grace of the Mother, in happiness or misery, in good or bad times, in wars and famines. Feel that boundless grace of the merciful Mother. Hail Mother, Hail Mother. Mother would give her instructions in a very simple and straightforward way. She would say, "As for those who depend upon God and have faith in Him, well, that itself is their spiritual practice. God is one's very own. It is an eternal relationship. One realizes Him in proportion to the intensity of one's feeling for Him. Don't be afraid. Always remember that somebody is protecting you." How many are there who truly want to realize God? They no doubt profess great devotion and longing, but they feel satisfied when they get even a tiny bit of enjoyment. They say, "Ah, how kind is God." Always do your duty to others. But love you must give to God alone. Worldly love always brings in its wake untold misery. If you love any human being, you will have to suffer for it. That person is blessed indeed who can love God alone. There is no suffering in loving God. Everything will come in time, my child. Be devoted to him and take shelter at his feet. It is enough to remember that there is someone, call him father or mother, who is always protecting you. Repeat the name of God always in the innermost core of your heart, and in all sincerity take refuge in Sri Ramakrishna. Do not bother to know how your mind is reacting to things around. And do not waste time in calculating and worrying over whether or not you are progressing in the path of spirituality. It is egotism to judge progress for oneself. Have faith in the grace of your Guru and God. Why are you so restless, my child? Why don't you stick on to what you have got? Always remember, I have at least a mother, if none else. Holy Mother said, do you know the significance of japa and other spiritual practices? By these, the power of the sense organs is subdued and the ties of past karma are cut asunder. But realization of God cannot be achieved without ecstatic love, prema bhakti for him. Disciple asked, but how can one yearn for God without seeing the manifestation of his love? Holy Mother said, yes, you can do so. There lies the grace of God. You see, it is the nature of water to float downwards, but the sun's rays lift it up towards the sky. Likewise, it is the very nature of mind to go to lower things, to object of enjoyment. But the grace of God can make the mind go towards higher objects. Lay the burden of your mind before Sri Ramakrishna. Tell him your sorrow with your tears. You will find that he will fill your arms with the desired object. Referring to Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother said, really and truly, he was God himself. He assumed this human body to remove the sorrows and sufferings of others. He moved about as a king walks through his city in disguise. He disappeared the moment he became known. He who has really prayed to Sri Ramakrishna, even once, has nothing to fear. By praying to him constantly, one gets ecstatic love through his grace. This ecstatic love, my child, is the innermost thing of spiritual life. The gopis of Vrindavan attained it. They were not aware of anything else in the world except Shri Krishna. My child, this world is like a deep, marshy place. Once a person gets entangled there, it becomes very difficult to come out. Repeat the name of God. If you do so, He will cut away your bondage someday. Can anyone get liberation, my child, unless he himself removes the shackles? Have deep faith in God. Look upon Sri Ramakrishna as your refuge, even as children regard their parents. How little intelligence does a person possess? The person may require one thing, but ask for another. A person starts to mold an image of Shiva and often ends by making that of a monkey. It is best therefore to surrender all desires at the feet of God. He will do whatever is best for us, but one may pray for devotion and detachment. These can't be classified as desires. What does one become by realizing God? Does one get two horns? No. What happens is, the person develops discrimination between the real and the unreal, gets spiritual consciousness, and goes beyond life and death. One who is able to renounce all for his sake is a living God. Even the decrees of fate are cancelled if one takes refuge in God. Fate strikes off with her own hand what she has written about such a person. Those who are really anxious to cross the ocean of the world will somehow break their bonds. No one can entangle such people. Always discriminate. Whenever the mind goes after anything other than God, consider it as transient and surrender the mind to the sacred feet of the Lord. Be like the man who, while angling for fish, became so absorbed in it that he did not hear the least of the din and bustle of a marriage procession passing by. Everything, husband, wife, or even the body, illusory. These are shackles of illusion. Unless you can free yourself from these bondages, you will never be able to go to the other shore of the world. Even this attachment to the body, the identification of the self with the body must go. What is this body, my darling? It is nothing but 3 pounds of ashes when it is cremated. Why so much vanity about it? However strong or beautiful this body may be, its culmination is in these 3 pounds of ashes. And still people are so attached to the body. My child, this mind is just like a wild elephant. It races with the wind. Therefore, one should discriminate all the time. One should work hard for the realization of God. One should really exert sincerely for God's realization. This world is moving around like a wheel. That indeed is the last birth in which one gets completely rid of all desires. Does one get a faith by mere study of books? Too much reading creates confusion. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that one should learn from the scriptures that God alone is real and the world illusory. As you meditate, you will realize that He who is in me is in you too, and in the humblest of people. Only then will humility grow in your mind. People have been worshipping images from time immemorial and attaining liberation through that. Do you want to say that does not mean anything? Sri Ramakrishna had no such narrow dogmatic views. God is everywhere. But this you must believe. Holy people are born to guide others, and each one walks, each one talks in a different way. There are many ways, and so what each one says is true. In the course of one's spiritual advancement, one comes to the stage when one doesn't feel even the existence of God. After attaining wisdom, one sees that the forms of gods and deities are all Maya. Everything comes into existence in time and also disappears in time. The aspirant then realizes that the Mother alone pervades the entire universe. All then becomes one. This is the simple truth. Pray to the Lord to make your heart as pure as a star. As a result of sincere and regular japa and meditation, you will find that Lord will speak to you. All your desires will be fulfilled and you will experience pure bliss. The Kundalini will awaken in course of time. Do japa and meditation, it does not rise of itself. Continuous meditation will make the mind so steady that you will not feel inclined to give it up. When the mind is not in a mood to meditate, do not force it to do so. In such conditions, get up from the seat of meditation after making prostrations. Real meditation is of a spontaneous nature. If meditation is not possible, do japa. Realization will come through japa. Realization of God or meditation, all these depend on the mind. Concentrate and everything will come to pass. Mind this, my child. One has to take refuge and wait for God's mercy. Then only He takes pity. A pure mind easily gets concentrated in meditation. When pure souls perform japa, they feel as if the holy name bubbles up spontaneously from within themselves. They do not make any effort to repeat the name. The Kundalini will gradually be awakened. You will realize everything by the repetition of God's name. Even if the mind be not quiet, still you can sit at a place and repeat the holy name 1,000,000 times. As wind removes the cloud, so the name of God destroys the cloud of worldliness. Repeating the name of God once, when the mind is controlled, is equivalent to 1,000,000 repetitions when the mind is away from God. You may repeat the name for the whole day, but if the mind be elsewhere, that doesn't produce much result. The repetition must be accompanied by concentration. Then alone one gets the grace of God. One must repeat the mantra at least 15 to 20,000 times a day. Then only one will get some results. One is sure to get it. One must practice first, therefore, before one complains that one is not progressing. Before that complaint, one should practice sincerely. But then, one must practice japa with a little concentration. Perhaps don't practice and simply say, why am I not progressing spiritually? Do not give up japa even if the mind is unsteady and unwilling. You must go on with the repetition, and you will find that mind is getting gradually steadier, like a flame in a windless corner. Any movement in the air disturbs the steady burning of the flame. Even so, the presence of any thought or desire makes the mind unsteady. The mantra must be correctly repeated. Incorrect utterance delays progress. One should practice japa and meditation at regular times, giving up idleness. While living at Dakshineshwar, mother said, I used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and practice japa and meditation. One day I felt a little indisposed and left the bed rather late. The next day I woke up still late through laziness. Gradually I found that I did not feel inclined to get up early at all. Then I said to myself, at last I have fallen victim to idleness. Thereupon I began to force myself to get up early. Gradually I got back my former habit. In such matters, one should keep up the practice with unyielding resolution. Everything depends on the mind. Nothing can be achieved without purity of mind. It is said, the aspirant may have received the grace of the Guru, the Lord and Vaishnavas, but he comes to grief without the grace of one, and that one is the mind. The mind of the aspirant should be gracious to him. When a person takes refuge with God, life's goal changes. God himself reverses his destiny. Does he grow a pair of horns? No. But he can distinguish good from evil, discover knowledge and pass beyond the reach of life and death. You must find him in your meditations. Who has seen more than this? To whom has he actually spoken? It is in spiritual transports one sees him, talks with him, and so on. If you want peace, then do not look into anybody's faults. Look into your own faults. Learn to make the whole world your own. No one is a stranger. The whole world is your own. There is no treasure equal to contentment and no virtue equal to fortitude. People complain about their griefs and sorrows and how they pray to God but find no relief from pain. But grief itself is a gift from God. It is a symbol of His compassion. Tell me, who is there in the world who has not had to bear sorrow? One suffers as a result of one's own actions. So instead of blaming others for such sufferings, one should pray to the Lord and depending entirely on His grace, try to bear them patiently and with forbearance under all circumstances. Open your grief-stricken heart to the Lord. Weep and sincerely pray. O Lord, draw me towards you. Give me peace of mind. By doing so constantly, you will gradually attain peace of mind. One who makes a habit of prayer will easily overcome all difficulties and remain calm and unruffled in the midst of the trials of life. So, Mother SaradaDevi has given great assurance to all the seekers. She said, once you surrender yourself sincerely to God, then God Himself will set things right for you. Nothing to worry. Things happen in our life so that we can learn through the experiences and turn the mind from the world towards God. And everything becomes wonderfully well. All is well that ends well. Thank you very much. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhidamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. May the Lord protect us, may He nourish us. May our knowledge be fruitful and enlightened. May we not hate each other. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.